Hello, this is Kazuma Double Eyes, and welcome to a little different video. In today's video, I'm going to go down memory lane, so to speak, to celebrate the final Pokemon main series game for the Nintendo 3DS. Yes, the final game for the Nintendo 3DS of Pokemon for the Nintendo 3DS is going to come out. This is non-scripted, so hence the random babbling and quietness and all of that. I know, not good, but still. So, first and foremost, what kind of video is this? Well, this will be me going down on talking about every Pokemon I had when playing a game for the first time. So, let's get something out of the way first. This video was inspired by MandJTV Pokevids and RuffledRowlit. Their links will be to their channels will be down below. Just so you know, I am not so happy with Pokevids though. Forget that. Just a bit of stupidity for my part. So yeah, and pictures are taken from Google, so you can all go and find these pictures yourself as well. It's all up to you. So yeah, with that out of the way, let's get right into this. So first and foremost, we have Generation 1 with Pokemon Red. And I actually had a real copy of the game, so yeah. So as a kid, I didn't have a Pokemon Game Boy Color. No, I didn't have my own copy of the game. I actually had to borrow it, so I always had to play until the battery ran out. That was kind of the stupidity of it all. Let's see. So because of that, I always started off with Charizard back then, but I never got longer than the battery allowed. Because I wasn't allowed to delete the save data that my friend had made. And I wasn't allowed to, classmates had made, and I wasn't allowed to borrow it for more than 2 days. So, after finally getting my hands on my own copy of Pokemon Red and a Game Boy Advance, actually, Advance SP, I was a bit more in the known about what starter Pokemon I would use, and so I started off with Blastoise. And I captured a Pidgeotto, or Pidgey, who became my flyer, and I then got my hands on a Pikachu that the first thing I did was evolve into a Raichu, because I did not want to have it stay as Pikachu. Then I traded a Nidoran for a Nidorina, female, so I could get a Nidoqueen, because I really want to have a Nidoqueen in my team. I evolved my Eevee, Gift Eevee, into a Flareon because I needed the fire typing, and I then got my hands on Hitmonlee. So that was my team up until I got to what's it called? Koga's Gym. After getting my hands on Surf, I surfed around a bit over at the bay, and I stumbled upon the cave where Articuno is. And that's actually how Articuno became my favorite Pokemon, because I had one hell of a time catching that thing. And after finally catching it, I just couldn't resist. I put it in the team. I loved it. It was my favorite Pokemon. Since it was flying type and ice type, actually the reason why I love ice Pokemon so much, I switched out my Pidgeot for my Articuno. Yeah, Articuno was OP back in the day, even faster than Alakazam in Gengar. True, it is true, she was. So, yeah. Back then I didn't really nickname my Pokemon that much. So yeah, and then I finally got to the Fire Gym, Brains area, and I got myself a Kabuto. Now, I had just recently seen Articuno's, no, not that, my bad, misjudging time zones. But yeah, and I thought, what the hell is that thing? What did it evolve to? So I evolved it, just for lulz, and I got impressed with how it looked. It was so menacing. I know about Scythers, I'm like, well, the hell, this thing looks almost like Scyther. I want it in my team. So yeah, I actually traded out my Hitmonlee for this guy, for Capitops instead. So when I got to the Elite Four, my team was a Blastoise, Pidgeotto, no, my bad, Blastoise, Articuno, Flareon, Capitops, Raichu, and Nidoqueen. And afterwards, I actually don't have this team anymore. I wish I had. I gave my copy to my youngest little sister, and she loves the game as well. Plays it from time to time. I even gave her my old Nintendo DS. Nintendo Advanced, it was called back then. And yeah, but if I were to name them today, it would be War Shell, because of the cannons, Zakiru, or if I were to actually use back then as well, kind of logic, childhood logic, Lightning. The Nidoqueen would be named Hime or Queen. Flareon, I actually don't know. Capitops, actually haven't made up my mind on that one either. Huh. Maybe I need to double check those things. But yeah, like I said, I never really cared about nicknaming for a long time. So yeah, that was Generation 1. Now I'm gonna do this a little bit different because I'm going to go through every main game. That means side games like Crystal or Emerald, they are also included, not just Silver or Sapphire. So yeah, so let's jump into Generation 2 next, with Pokemon Silver. So I made it a point after using Articuno to not use Legendary for my next gameplay. As a kid I decided that. So my team was actually Meganium, because I wanted to know what Chikorita evolved into. I got a Noctowl, because I just love the owl theme from it. I also got an Ampharos, because that electric sheep intrigued me. I want to know what it could do and become. And since I always loved Scyther, I decided to get one. I spent a hell of a long time in the safari or bug catching place until I got one. I think I didn't progress in the game for over a month trying to get the damn Scyther. Then I got a Heracross, and I used to tell him, you know what? Screw Scyther. I want to use Heracross. I had just watched the Pokémon anime, and so I actually added in Heracross in my team instead for Scyther. And then I got Umbreon. I got an Eevee, and I hadn't seen the Umbreon evolution yet. I just actually mistakenly evolved it into an Umbreon, and that's how Umbreon became my shared favorite Pokemon of all time. Articuno and Umbreon, those are my favorite Pokemon of all time. I really loved Umbreon, and then after battling the Eevee sisters and finding out how to get Surf, that was kind of hard actually. I didn't really get how to get Surf. So I had already gotten an Umbreon by that point. Because I walked around a lot trying to look for the damn game HM for Surf. And then I got I just got an HM slave that I could use until I got to the Lake of Rage and saw the red Gyarados, and I just could not resist. I mean, what kid wouldn't have captured the red Gyarados at that time and put it in their team? I just knew I had to have it in my team, so I put it in team. And finally, when I got to the what's it called, the Pokemon League, my team was Meganium, Noctowl, Ampharos, Heracross, Umbreon, and Gyarados. Wait, Meganium, Heracross, Umbreon, Gyarados. Yeah, so I didn't use Scyther at all after that. And a little bit of a fun fact, actually, I had some major weird luck when I was a kid. So my Cyndaquil turned out to be a female, and same with my Umbreon and Ampharos. Though Ampharos I just captured the first Mary I could find. I have to looking for one. So yeah, that's the story for Generation 2 Silver version. Let's jump a bit up in time for Pokemon Crystal. Now, this time I decided to use Typhlosion as my starter, and I got a Quagsire. Just because. I also got Sudowoodo, Heracross again, and I decided to hatch the egg and got a Togetic. That's a practicing Pokemon. I also got Noctowl, but when Togepi evolved in Togetic and gained the Flying type, I was like, I decided to put away Noctowl. And then I got Gyarados. And once again, like I said, Heracross again. And yeah, by this point, how do I say that? I actually had a different opinion about Typhlosion. Now, Meganium, I'm not gonna make this a secret, it is not my favorite start for Generation 2. Not fully evolved. It's actually Feraligatr. Feraligatr looked really menacing in Generation 2. Then, my second stage starter favorite there is actually Bayleaf. Yes, Bayleaf is my favorite secondary evolution for the starters for Generation 2. And just barely making it over Quilava. And Cyndaquil is my favorite of the main stage for all the starters. But yeah. So yeah, by this time I actually had a little more insight about what would happen and all that thing, so I just went with this team. I didn't want to use legendaries because I felt like it was a bit cheap. Even though nowadays you need to have a legendary in your team. Actually, not really, no. So yeah, that's Generation 2. For me, I still love Generation 2, it's my favorite generation. So yeah, let's jump into Generation 3 then, with Pokemon Sapphire. Now, Kyogre was the reason I bought Sapphire, because I just loved how it looked over Groudon. So yeah, so at this point I still didn't nickname my Pokemon. So I got myself a Blaziken. and a Gyarados once again. Third generation with a Gyarados, yeah, I know. I also got a Breloom, a Flygon, and that became my favorite Dragon type actually for a while. Non-legendary Dragon type is actually my favorite. Is I do believe Flygon still. But yeah, I got Aggron as well, and that was my team until I got Kyogre and then switched out Gyarados for Kyogre because who wouldn't? Oh right, I gotta go Gardevoir as well. And I had hell because by this point I knew about soft resetting, how you could get different genders and things like that. So I made it a point to get a female Blaziken. I don't know why, I just wanted that. And I looked up and down, over and out for a female Gardevoir or Rolls. And after finally getting one, I was so freaking happy because it was a hell looking for one. Anyone who had those games know what I'm talking about. Getting a Gardevoir was not easy, and the fact that your quote-unquote rival got one on the first step, and that always pissed one off. So yeah, now let's go into Pokemon Emerald. So here I switched up my team a bit. I decided to go with Swampert. No, not Swampert, Sceptile instead. And together with Sceptile, I got Shift 3 because I always wanted to use one. I don't know why, I just love the look of it. And I got a Gardevoir once again, and I got a Mawile. I just wanted to have those two Pokemon. And I got a Flygon as well once again, and a Banette. I also used briefly a Torkoal. And yeah, I actually switched out Torkoal for my Banette. And yeah, how do I say it? How do I say it? And by this point I tried to make it a little bit different in my team. I actually got 3 females. My Flygon was female, Rolls and Mawile was female. My males was Sceptile, Banette, and Shift 3. My Torkoal was female at the as well, but because I just captured it so I could get past some gym, I believe. I can't really remember why I had it in my team. I just did. I think it must have been this Pokemon Adventure hype. I probably used it because of that. It was a weird time for me when it comes for me in Pokemon back then. I was just about to start. I hated Ash and his way of doing things, but I also liked the Pokemon he had in his team. For some reason or another, I don't know. I was weird. So yeah, that's Generation 3 Pokemon Emerald for you. Now it's gonna be a bit different because I actually decided to put up remakes as well on this. And I know the video is already 18 minutes long. So yeah, we have Leaf Green. And here I started with Charizard because it's Dragon. I also went with Zubat, who evolved into Crobat, and I went with Vaporeon instead for Flareon this time, and I also used Articuno once again. I always get an Articuno. I also got Primate because I wanted to have a Primate in my team, but I just couldn't get one. So the fact that I could get one in that game made me so happy. So yeah, I got Primate for my team, and I once again got Kabutops. Because, why not? Why wouldn't I get a Kabutops? I mean, it's a Kabutops. So yeah, that was my Generation 4 team. I mean Generation 1 remake team. So yeah, now then there we go. Let's see, now I'm a bit quiet because I'm thinking. Right, Generation 4, that's where I was supposed to go with next. Put up here. So yeah. So this time I went with Generation 4 and yeah, went with Generation 4, huh? So yeah, in Generation 4 I used Infernape, a Staraptor, a Luxray, a Floatzel, a Lopunny, female of course, and a Weavile. Now, for me, I didn't know about Weavile's evolution at first. It took me a while to realize it had an evolution, but I wanted an Ice type in my team again. It's been a while, and I really wanted to have a new Ice type. I made a mistake in many years of thinking Sneasel and Weavile both are from Generation 4, even though the Weavile is from Generation 4 and Sneasel is from Generation 2. So Sneasel actually took over for Floatzel in my team, I believe. No, it actually took Luxray's place in the team. Because Luxray I felt didn't get any good moves. So yeah, my Lopunny was female, of course, and so was my Sneasel. I had Floatzel in my team because I just love Weasel. Especially more so because of the anime actually. Design wise, yes, I really loved it, and the anime made me like it even more. So when it evolved, I got a bit surprised. But its evolution, I didn't think it would look like it did. But I warmed up to it even more thanks to the evolution of Floatzel. And I kept using this team. I actually didn't nickname this team either. I was still on this don't nickname your Pokemon hype, I believe. Or not hype, but mentality. You don't nickname them mentality. So I never really gave them any nicknames. And I regret that today because I might have remembered them a lot better. Actually, no, I probably wouldn't have remembered the nicknames at all. If I did. Huh. Oh well. See, I actually only played one Generation 4 game, and that was was Pokemon Burrow. I never got my hands on Platinum, and that's a bit sad. So that's why we're going to jump over to Pokemon Generation 5 now, with Pokemon Black. Now this was a bit of a different time for me. A bit different for me. You see, in this game, I decided to go only females. Well, almost only females. I went with a female Ceraptor, a female Simipour, a female Unfeasant, a female Levani, a male Galvantula because I just love the design of it, a male Bertic, a female Leopard, Carcosta, and then Zekrom and Huron. Yes, I actually stumbled because the version I played the game on wasn't allowed. I got the emulator from a friend as well as the actual game, and the game had Huron in it. So Huron became my favorite dragon type. So yeah, and by the time I got to the I need to think now. By the time I got to the Elite Four, my team was superior. It was on Pheasant, Levani, Simipour. I traded out my Carcosta for the Bertic, and I had removed Leopard as well because I don't know, I felt like she wasn't useful enough for my team. And so I went with Galvantula and had that. Let's see, that's Sarpira for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Emma, Pheasant, Simipour, Levani, Superior, Galvantula, and Bertic. Yeah. And then you get the legendary, so I had to pick out someone from my team. And I decided to remove my Galvantula for not Sekrom. My bad. That's the wrong generation. Wrong game. I traded it out for my for what was the name of Pokemon again? It was, oh my god, I can't remember. Sekrom, Sekrom, Reshiram. Traded out for traded Galvantula out for Reshiram, who I didn't nickname either. I still didn't nickname Pokemon until Generation 6 actually, and it was sad. So yeah, with the failure from my memory out of the way, let's jump over to Generation still in Generation 5 I mean, but let's jump up to Black 2, White 2. Now here I did get Kyurem and Sekrom. I put them in the wrong order. But I also got a male Samurott, a female Lucario. I once again got an Ampharos, and it was female. I also got an Umbreon female. I did all I could to get that Eevee to be female. It took a long time. I also had my Levani and my female again, and I got a Darmanitan. So yeah, that was my team. And when it was time to switch over for the Elite Four and defeating the bad guys once again, I just switched out my I think it was my Ampharos actually. I switched out my Ampharos for the Legendary and then switched back for the Elite Four, because I didn't want to use Legendary in my team when battling the Elite Four. So that was my Generation 5 teams. And now we're going to Generation 6 with Pokemon X. And this is where I started to actually nickname my Pokemon. But no, wait, I didn't actually. No, it wasn't this time either. I didn't nickname them back here either. But this was the first time I could trade my Pokemon. So I actually got a Delphox as my start because I really loved its design. Even though everybody else hated it, Delphox is my favorite. And then Greninja. Yes, I love ninjas. I do love ninjas, but I'm sorry, Delphox is still my favorite. Then I got a Meowstic because I loved the female design they gave her. I also got an Ampharos once again, and I got a Togekiss, and then I got a friend who traded me both Togekiss and Greninja, as well as the male shiny Scizor. So my team was Delphox, Meowstic, Ampharos, Togekiss female, Greninja male, and Scizor male. And when I then got to trade out a Pokemon for Xerneas, I actually removed Ampharos. I had had enough of Ampharos by this time. I've used it too many times, I felt. So I once again traded it out. And I was pleasantly surprised over how well this generation went for me. And now we go over to the remake for Alpha Sapphire. This is when I started to nickname my Pokemon, actually. Now I felt comfortable. This was when I felt that, yeah, I want to nickname my Pokemon. So I started doing that. This time I decided to go with Swampert, who I named Poseidon. And then went with Ninetales, who I named Yukiko. Breloom, who I named Breeze. Points to everyone who gets nicknames, and where they're from, by the way. Really, I can't play music without... let's see. Here we go. So yeah, points to anyone who gets where the nicknames are from. So yeah, I got a Gardevoir named Mira Jane, a Crobat who I named Mitsuru, and a Flygon who I named Grandine. Now, my team actually was like this until I got to the Kyogre. I once again captured it, but I didn't want to keep it in my team, so I just boxed it right away after the capture. And that was my Generation 6 Alpha Sapphire game. I still have the Generation 4, the Pokemon X and Pokemon Alpha Sapphire games, thanks to Pokebank. I still have those teams. I'm really happy about it. So yeah, let's go to the recent game, Pokemon Moon. So this time I went with Primarina. Yes, I'm not gonna make this mistake with Primarina. Is my favorite starter. Final evolution. That's it. Say what you want. I don't care. I like Primarina more than I like the other two. So with that said, my Primarina was named Maroon. Again, points to anyone who gets the nicknames. I then got a Vikavolt. Because I've seen the final evolution, I have no idea how it evolved, so it was a pain in the neck having to have it in my team. But I really wanted to have it evolved. And I named it Sakaru. Then I have a Salazzle, a female Salazzle. I had a long time trying to get my hands on it. I nicknamed it Mia. Then I found one of the girls who trades Pokemon with you, and I traded for her Bouncewee, who you know is named Bouncy. So the Serena Bouncy I kept, and I had a friend trade me on a Alolan Ninetales. I did not know that Ninetales was in the other game. Pissed me off. I think it should have been in Pokemon Moon instead. So I got done Alolan Ninetales who I named Mitsuru. Then I got Zygarde. And I really wanted to have a 10% Zygarde, and I nicknamed it Dicor. And I had a hell of a lot great luck, because it turned out to be Adamant. And that was awesome. Sadly, I mistakenly turned it into Zygarde 50% form. Something I regret even to this day. And I really need to get a skill capsule and switch its skill so I can change it back into a 10% form without removing its type. What's it called? Its adamant nature. And then I had Nebby, of course, aka Lunala, and I traded at this point I had mistakenly turned Zygarde into 50% form, so I traded out Dicor for Lunala. Now, I didn't nickname it. I know a lot of people did, but I just didn't feel like doing it. I don't know why. Maybe a mistake on my part. I don't know. You guys decide. And now we have the next game. For Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, I had already decided to have the serie in my team. So I have already decided for Pokemon Ultra Moon to have a female Decidueye or a male. I haven't decided on the gender yet, actually. I might make it female and name it Artemis. If it's a male, I'm gonna name it Ghost. But I do want to nickname it after the Greek goddess Artemis, goddess of the hunt. That's actually one thing I might do. And I also decided on a second Pokemon, but and that's a Pokemon I wanted to use at first, but I didn't because Ash got it in a Pokemon anime. But I kind of feel like, you know what? Screw Ash. If he just because he has the same Pokemon I have in my team doesn't mean what. So I've decided. I'm not gonna show it here, but I have decided to have Dusk Lycanroc. I like Dusk Lycanroc. I think it looks awesome. So yeah, that's going to be 2 of my Pokemon for the next generation, on the next game. And when Pokemon get moved into the Pokemon, the Nintendo Switch, I'm going to make a little bit of a team recap. A faster version of this video that's not almost 40 minutes long, hopefully. Sorry about that. And yeah, so that's going to be my future plans for this series, where I plan to show off, so to speak, the team I used in my Nintendo Switch. Also, I might actually get a capture card and record me playing the game for the first time by that point. So yeah, we have to wait and see what the future has in store for us. And let's see what the next Pokemon games is going to be like. So yeah, once again, this is Customer Double Eyes. Thank you for watching. If you made it to this point, thumbs up for you. You're a hell of a good person. Really like that you stayed with me this long. And sorry for the long video, guys. I'll see you guys next time on the next Pokemon Let's Play episode. And have a good day. Bye.